So it's all to play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hello, Aston Villa fans, and welcome to a fantastic post-match. Aston Villa 3, Newcastle 0. Yes! Absolutely yes, 1,000. Absolutely brilliant. Oh my God, I hope people can hear me. But that was absolutely excellent. What a 90-minute performance. Some way to clear a pain in my head, an alcohol-induced pain in my head. But that was, we can start to dream. Aston Villa, we could have won that game 6-0 today. We genuinely could have won that game 6-0. I am, God, I'm getting palpitations after jumping up so quick there. But that was fantastic. I'm actually lost for words. That was one of the most complete performances I have ever seen from an Aston Villa striker. Up there with Benteke versus Liverpool all those years ago, whatever year it was, 2014, 2015. Ollie Watkins gave a display today that was nothing short of phenomenal. In front of Gareth Southgate, in front of 42,000 Aston Villa fans, and most importantly, in front of goal, because he could have had 5 goals, but he got 2 goals, and he's a man on fire. And you saw that graphic. Ollie Watkins is the top scoring player in the Premier League since the resumption after the World Cup. And you know why? Because he's good. That's why. I am absolutely beaming. I'm really, really happy. Really happy. I'm happy for everyone who got to go over there. I'm happy for everyone who didn't get to go over there. I'm very happy for everybody who's put on an Aston Villa shirt over the last 20 years or 25 years since we've been relevant or good up near the top of the league. I'm happy that if everyone that's sat there with their head in their hands after poor defeats, sat there with their head in their hands after being 2-0 up against Wolves and losing 3-2 in the last 10 minutes. And I know I'm probably being hyperbolic about it, but that, you know, a lot of questions were asked about Aston Villa. A lot of questions were asked, and I alluded to it, about were Villa being lucky. There was nothing lucky about that today. It was a cool, clinical, assassin-like performance. And as I say, Villa could have won that game 6-0 today. They really could have. And that's not, and I don't think that's being hyperbolic. Speaking of hyperbolics, here's Paddy. Come on. But I can't hear you because I don't have any headphones in, Paddy. Give me 2 seconds.
Are we happy? You weren't expecting me, Neil, really?
Now I can hear you.
You're not expecting me.
I was. I just realised I wasn't wearing any headphones when I brought you in, so I wouldn't have been able to hear you. Are you as overexcited as I am, Paddy?
I am just buzzing. I just cannot believe whatever about winning the game. To see this amazing performance over 90 minutes is everything we've dreamed of for the last 13 years. It's been absolutely incredible. Incredible isn't even as good a word. At half time, I just sat there and went, no matter what happens in this second half, that has been the most complete I've seen this team play for 45 minutes since Martin O'Neill left. And then we go out and just put in the same performance in the second half. And you know what? We have to believe now. We have to believe that this is our year, that we can stay where we are, because it's just one performance after another, which leaves us way, way, way out of sight from those below us. Those below us are going, what have we got to do now to catch Villa?
Absolutely.
So we have to dream, we have to believe, and it's just, I would have given anything to be there today. After about 20 minutes, I thought, this is just an amazing performance to have missed out on. But to be able to watch it, to be able to enjoy it, drink it in, to hear all the noise, to get the messages on the phone from fellas at the match, absolutely incredible. Our own Noel Connaughton is there, and I'm sure he's full of hopium at the moment.
I must say, Noel got a picture leaning in the window of Ollie Watkins' car, roughly around the time that Unai Emery was appointed, and he's been on fire since. And I messaged Noel. Noel keeps on sending the message into us whenever Ollie scores, and I messaged Noel saying, "I'm at the stage where I genuinely think I'm going to get printed out and put it in a frame." At this stage, it's that chance meeting, or Noel gave him his 2 cents, has changed his season around. I love it, guys. I'm as giddy as a March hare. I really am. And I'm loving every second of it.
We're all giddy, and let's be before we forget. There's a few unsung heroes out there which probably won't get a mention, but Leander Dendoncker came in and did a sterling job, absolutely sterling job. And I was worried. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit worried when he came in because he hasn't played in so long. But what a guy he was today. I thought he was. It's by far and away his greatest performance in a Villa shirt, and I'm delighted for him. Absolutely delighted for him.
Paul O'Neill, thank you so much, Paul. Paul says we effing annihilated him. Statement performance. Shout out to the unsung heroes, Kanza, Buendia, Young, and Dendoncker. Great industry and work rate that drove the win. Oh, and Ollie scored twice. Exactly. Someone else I want to give a shout. Like it's such a pleasure watching Douglas Luiz at the moment, lads. Douglas Luiz is just a pleasure to watch. And Alex Moreno, what Villa did, specifically in the first half, anyways, Villa went and hammered the hammer. That's the phrase. That's a phrase that I've been introduced to recently. But hammer the hammer is what they did. They went after Kieran Trippier, and Alex Moreno had serious joy down that left hand side, and he was loving it. He was playing with a smile on his face towards the end of the game. I thought that obviously Watkins has to be man of the match, but if Watkins wasn't man of the match, I think Alex Moreno would have got it because I thought he was sublime today, both going forward and coming back as well. So really great stuff. We've got where else are we there? We'll get to a couple more comments there in a moment. We'll there's just one or two here that so generic Villa fan says put the Geordies back in their box, priceless, and up the Villa. And Anne as well, thank you so much as well. When your United husband tells you months ago your faves Mings and Watkins aren't good enough for the Premiership, who's laughing?
Well, that's a really good point because those two players. Cheers, Richard. Those two players get mentioned so many times by people you meet and you go, but you know, Mings is useless. What have you based that on? You've based that on watching Gerrard ball? Because Tyrone Mings is the most informed centre-half, English centre-half in the Premier League. Ollie Watkins is the most informed striker, let alone English striker in the Premier League. Yet was completely overlooked by that clown, an absolute wally sitting up in the stand again today.
He won't overlook him today.
The time is ticking down for clowns like him, that's for sure. These guys are an absolute flying form, and the one person we have to thank for all of this is Professor Unai.
Super Unai Emery. Yeah, absolutely.
He's revolutionised Ollie Watkins by just simply telling him to be a striker.
Exactly.
We had Steven Gerrard who wanted players to be more than what they were. All we want Ollie Watkins to do is be in a position to put the ball in the back of the net. Simple as that. And look what happened when he kept him in that position. Look at that third goal today. He almost looked shocked when the ball hit the back of the net. It was absolutely incredible to watch. And I don't know whether he was waiting on it to be chalked off or whatever. We just stood there like...
and you know what? When that happened, actually, and they showed the replay of it from behind, I turned around and my mum and dad are up visiting. I was watching it with my dad there inside. I turned around to him and I went, that's the job. Stand there and just take it in. But it was kind of like a Cantona-esque pose. So when Cantona scored, he just stood there.
That's exactly what I thought at the time, yeah.
Yeah. I must say, here's a niche reference, okay? I would be surprised. There's a lot of people going to get this reference, but I'm going to say it because it's actually true. So in Ireland, we play a game called hurling. In hurling at the moment, there's a team called Limerick who are outstanding. They're brilliant. And there's a player who plays for Limerick. His name is Aaron Gillan. And if you look at Aaron Gillan, it looks like he looks like he's a 7 out of 10 and everything. But they leave him up in the middle of the in the middle of the square on his own, and he's able to fend off 3 or 4, and he occupies the defence himself, and he's outstanding. Ollie Watkins is playing the game like that at the moment. As soon as I started telling the story, I went, this is going to go over 90% of people's heads, but I'm going to continue telling it anyway. But the way that he occupied Fabian Schär and Sven Botman today was textbook. It was teaching material. And once again, I'm not being over the top with this because he really occupied the two of them. He got Schär got booked for a tackle at him. Botman, I thought, did a lot better on him when he moved over on him, or when Watkins went towards him. But like, his movement was just outstanding today, and the space, once again, the space this midfield creates in front of him is just is phenomenal. And also, one thing about Ollie Watkins, his hold-up play has really gotten very, very good all of a sudden. You know, this season, he's looking good. He's holding on to the ball. He's bringing players into it. And last thing I want to say about Ollie Watkins is, you will not see a better header this weekend than the header he cushioned down for Ramsey's goal. What a header!
They said in the commentary that it was Peter Crouch-esque. If Peter Crouch had been playing for us, that would have been flicked over the bar or trying to head the ball down like that. It was just the most, considering the fact he was being pushed as well, it was the most incredibly measured hold up of a header. It was absolutely outstanding.
Yeah.
It was an absolutely world-class performance by a striker, completely informed, completely revolutionised. And Europe, here we come.
Look, as I say, we can start to dream. Once again, we've got Brentford next, isn't it? Brentford and then Fulham. Beat Brentford, beat Fulham. I cannot see us not getting Europe if that happens. I cannot see us not getting Europe if that happens. We're creating a gap between ourselves and two teams that are below us, that are still in the fight for 7th place or 6th place. And we're also continuing to keep the pressure on the teams at the top. We're 6 points behind the Champions League places. Now, I'm not suggesting that we're going to overturn 6 points with 7 games to go and get into the Champions League, but I'm saying there's a chance. That's what I'm saying.
There's always a chance. You never know.
Always a chance. With Unai Emery, there's always a chance.
The way this is coming together, the only thing we got to fear is picking up little niggly injuries. Like, you know, there's certain players out there that we can't live without. You mentioned Douglas Luiz, absolutely outstanding. Alex Moreno, while we have an able defensive replacement in Luca Dean, we'd really miss his attacking threat if we picked up an injury. There's so much that can go wrong. So for the moment, we'll just enjoy it. Hope for the best. If we could pick up 6 points in the next 3 games, I agree. Or next 2 games, I agree with you. I don't think we're getting caught here.
As I say, every game, like the old cliche, every game's a cup final from here on in. But when you love playing cup finals when you're in such good form, you're playing good football, and you have guys like you've got guys that are really buying into this system. But above all else, when you have this cheat code. You know, like he's like what's happening in some games. Like today, now we played for 90 minutes, but in some games we've defended, caught teams on the break. And if I was playing Football Manager against us, sometimes during the course of this season, I'd be quitting before the game finished and going back to my save and continue to do that to try and beat us, because we frustrated teams, but we didn't frustrate teams today. We went out there and we beat them solidly. If Villa Report has up today. Paddy, what was our XG today?
I couldn't give a shiny kite.
So Villa scored 3 goals, and our expected goals calculation for the day today was 1.91. So we outscored our XG today by quite a lot, by 33%. From my rudimentary mathematics, over 33%. Yeah, my rudimentary mathematics. But no, look, and once again, guys, I know that there's going to be people watching back on this, and I know that maybe opposition fans will come here and maybe go, these guys are getting overhyped about something. But I'm going to say it, and same thing to Newcastle fans, and same thing to every other fan base of a club that has been in the doldrums for the last couple of years. We all need to group together and celebrate these wins. Like, we are not enemies of each other. We are not rivals of each other. I know we want our team to be in, like, I would love if our team was in Newcastle's league position at the moment. Hopefully we will get there at some stage. But as an Aston Villa fan, when you've got wins like that, and I know it's only a win on a Saturday in the middle of April, and there's no medals handed out for it, but we have to celebrate good times like this, because they don't come around too often. We're 8 games unbeaten now, Paddy, on the road. We could be 10 games unbeaten come the 25th of April we've got Brentford and Fulham. I'm not going to say that they're imminently winnable games, but there are games we can go into and we can have a plan and be confident going into. And we may come undone in one of those games. And that's, it's not going to be the end of the world if that happens.
Yeah.
But the good times are rolling. And like, we should all have pains in our cheeks from smiling at the moment. And that's a good complaint to have.
But look, we keep going back to it. But over the last 10 years, the guys around us have been our... the people that we lean on when we're feeling the absolute roughest. So here we are feeling at our absolute best. Go and enjoy it. Have a few points together. Just embrace everything we've seen today, because for me, I cannot remember a more complete performance. Absolutely outstanding from start to finish. Every player on the pitch played their part. Buendia, we haven't mentioned, absolutely brilliant today. He was everywhere. They could not deal with him. Every time he got on the ball, he had space. He was incredible. Ashley Young, my God, is he Peter Pan or what is he like?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. He switched to the right wing and he went on a sprint there in the 89th minute, and I was just like, where is he getting his energy from? It's absolutely amazing. I'm just, from start to finish, every single player on the pitch, bullet bust, round of applause. Unbelievable. A couple of great saves from Emi Martinez as well. Don't let that go unnoticed.
Yeah.
Kept the clean sheet. There's just so much good about today that if we were here till 10 o'clock tonight, we'd probably miss out on something. So enjoy it. Drink it in. Roll on next weekend. It is so nice to play a game at 12:30 on a Saturday and know that you don't have to worry about Villa for a week.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like, I don't know whether it's the adrenaline of this win is really kind of perked me up. Like, the pain in my head is gone. It's fantastic. That Aston Villa giving me medicine, giving me dopamine releases like never before, Paddy, like never before. Actually, just on Emi Martinez, was anybody else's heart in their mouth when he came out and did that sliding tackle over by the sideline in the first half?
Perfectly timed.
Perfectly timed. But I was like, God, oh no, this isn't good. But in fairness to him, it was absolutely superb. I'm buzzing. I really am. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for like that team that went out today. This midfield is turning into something really special. Once again, I don't care if people think that I'm over egging the pudding here. That's fine. As I say, I'm going to celebrate wins, and I'm going to talk in glowing and gushing terms about this midfield. This kind of midfield, the way that the players are kind of rotating around into positions at times, albeit Dendoncker didn't do much of it today. It gives the back, like there was a couple of passes Mings played today, and he just passed them into an area because he knew somebody was going to be there. He didn't know who was there. He knew somebody was going to be there. And then when those passes happen, the space it opens up is phenomenal. Like the second Buendia was picking balls up, essentially within his own half, Alex Moreno was gone like a pup all the way up like he was waiting for a ball to reach him out in the sideline. It's just the space that's been created in there is fantastic. And as I say, it goes to show the video work that they're doing, the work they're doing on the training field. Unai Emery has got a plan for every game. It seems at the moment we can sit back and we can defend. We took this game massively to Newcastle, and as I said, we hammered the hammer down the right hand side, and we came out on the right side of it. We could have been 1-0 up after 28 seconds. I still think that Ollie Watkins did brilliantly to get his shot away. Botman was draped all over him. Nick Pope did brilliantly to close his angles. Watkins should probably have scored one or maybe two other goals. One of them was definitely down Pope's throat. But I thought that one was a really good effort. Jacob Ramsey hitting the crossbar. Genuinely, this could have been a 5-0 win, and we'll still see. And I'm not going to go on a rant about the media. I couldn't care less. As I say, let's make our own analysis of the game. Because as I say, we care about it. We care about the team, and so do all the other great Villa podcasts that are out there. Watch them all. Watch every single one of them. Soak it in. Give them all the thumbs up on YouTube. Share them all over the place. There's tons of Villa fans out there that want to join in here. There's tons of Villa fans here who want to embrace the winning that's happening here at the moment. There's tons of people out there who don't even know they're Villa fans yet. Share the living hell out of every bit of content. Find a Villa podcast you've never listened to before and listen to it, because, as I say, the fan base here deserves good times, and they deserve good times to roll. And we'll talk about it. And we won't talk about Newcastle having an off day today because they didn't. Aston Villa were absolutely brilliant. And that is the talking point. That is the talking point. And make sure you tell everybody that.
From start to finish, we got everything right, including deciding not to play the ball out from the back against the high press. They immediately realised that they weren't winning that race, and we just lumped the ball along, and we were fine. And he every ball he played out to the full backs, that 40-yard cross ball, we call it, every one of them on point, 100% on point. There's so much good about today. And, you know, I didn't see the change coming in deciding not to play the ball out from the back. It worked. Yeah. They didn't see it coming because they were prepared for it. Even when they made the changes, we were well able for them. They like Callum Wilson come on like a man possessed. He pushed Ezri Konsa within 10 seconds of coming on the pitch. He just wanted a row. We weren't there for a row. We were totally focused, 100% focused on the job in hand. The job was done. The highlight for me, and I love it when you see a performance like this, is Unai Emery going over to the opposition manager, shaking hands, job done, down the tunnel onto the next one.
How didn't we think of this one before, Paddy? But Aston the Villa fan, this is brilliant. The Sultan of Unai strikes again. How have I'm one for the corny dad puns. How did I not think of that?
Project B6 have a flag with that on it.
Do they?
It's in the process of being made. Yeah.
That is excellent. The Sultan of Unai is that's worthy of a tattoo, I think. I think that's nearly worthy of a tattoo. That's brilliant. Excellent stuff. Okay, let's get to some of your comments, guys, because we've neglected the comments. There is a ton of them. Oh my goodness. But Adam, good to see you, Adam Slack. Great to see you. 10 in a row. Who says it isn't possible? Let's see. We're on, what is it, 5 wins in a row now? Incredible stuff. How many goals has Ollie Watkins scored in a row now?
10 from 12 he scored, isn't it?
10 from 12. Okay. Yeah. 10 from 12. That's phenomenal. That is, like, as I say, he's 12 goals scored since the World Cup already. He's in phenomenal form. Absolutely brilliant. James Russell says the best game since Emery arrived, played Newcastle off the field. I agree. I think this is up there with the Manchester United game 2 days after he arrived. I think we played brilliantly then as well, but this was just such a complete performance. Where else are we here? Apologies if I miss any of your comments. As I say, there's a bazillion comments here, and I thank you all for every single one of them. CC says you could call out so many of our players, but a special shout out to Dendoncker, who played an outstanding game. He was he was like as if there was ice in his boots today. You know, he was so cool on the ball, which was really good. And as I say, you know, it's not been an easy year for him. So exactly, and you called it out as well, Paddy. Fair play to him. He's done really well. Where else are we? And this is a great point from Richard Edwards. Diego Carlos, 28 million. Boubacar Kamara, I know he's a free. He's here behind me. Like, these guys have to come back into this team, but the team is playing so well. And the partnerships that are being formed out there, specifically between Mings and Konsa, like the reason I haven't done my scouting series on centre halves yet is because Mings and Konsa are playing so brilliantly that I'm kind of like going, what's the point? You know, what is the point? We've got Diego Carlos on the bench as well, you know, so maybe we won't be dipping in. Maybe we won't be dipping into the market as much in defence as I previously thought. Although I do think that there will be overturn of players over the next 12 to 18 months for sure. But they've been fantastic, and to have somebody like Diego Carlos, to have the luxury of being able to ease him back when he's proper and ready is just fantastic. Love it. Where else are we there? Really Random Review says, this team have so much belief now, and I don't see us bringing back old habits. This is only going to end in one way. Villa in Europe chasing down Champions League. 6 points off it at the moment, which is, who would have said that on who would have said that at Halloween?
I think we have a drunk man in the comments.
We're staying up. We're mathematically staying up. You're dead right. Keep the carling flowing. Where else are we? Glenn. Glenn's off for breakfast here. He's watching the game over breakfast over in Atlanta. Excellent stuff. Yeah, it was an early one for you guys. Adam Slack, actually. Adam messaged me and said he got up at 4:30 to watch the game this morning. So That is fantastic. This is a question we should start asking as well. Will Villa be in the Super League in 2024? Are we okay now with the Super League? Should it? I'm being facetious when I say
Never,
that, but
never.
I'm being facetious. But where else are we? Paddy, anybody else you want to call out on the in a positive sense today?
Like we could name them all. There was very, very, very few negatives in that game. You know, there was a couple of loose passes here and there. Other than that, what could you be possibly negative about? Maybe the poor showing of a referee. I thought he was.
Oh, that's what I meant to ask you. Yeah,
I thought the game was too big for him today. I thought he looked like a rabbit in the headlights. It was end to end. It was fast. It was furious, and he wasn't able for it. And any time a challenge went in, he didn't know what to do. And he finished the game by stamping his authority on a young fella by giving him a yellow card for the ones he let go throughout the game. Makes absolutely no sense to me.
We still haven't lost under John Brooks, though. I think there's some record where we haven't lost under him in the Premier League. So yeah, but look, I'll take poor refereeing as long as we're winning. Yeah,
I ran into the toilet for a quick wee before I come in to get on the podcast, and I could hear in the background BT Sport saying, "Today is not a day to be talking about how bad Newcastle were. We need to talk about we need to talk about how good Aston Villa were." And that's the kind of rhetoric we need to be hearing now at this stage. They need to wake up and realise that we're in with the big boys now. We're playing perfect games, and we need to be taken seriously.
Mr. McGrath, God himself, has put up a tweet, and I just said I'd share it here. What a brilliant display by Aston Villa versus Newcastle United. This is what teamwork is all about. It's a pleasure to watch our team at the moment. #respect, #much love. Comes from the words of the deity himself, Paul McGrath, and I agree with every single word. Teamwork. It was it's such a vital part. It's such a vital component. And you can see that team bust their gut today out there. You know, if we lost the ball at the edge of their area, we were somehow nipping in, robbing people's pockets. Buendia was very good at it. Douglas Luiz, as I said, is a pleasure to watch at the moment, the way he does it. It's really good. And I agree with every single syllable that Paul McGrath has said there. And great to see somebody who's held in so much high esteem by the Villa fans, you know, genuinely happy about this today. And you know what, he's had a busy weekend. He was shaking hands with Joe Biden yesterday above our Snookter and with the Irish president as well. So you know, he's had it's been quite a week for him, for sure. Where is it? Edie says this turnaround this season is some story for the history books. And you know what, it's very much on parallel with Newcastle's last year. I know that we weren't in the doldrums as much as Newcastle were we were in the doldrums, but we weren't from a points point of view and from a position in the league point of view, we weren't as badly off as Newcastle were. But this turnaround is up there. And I remember last year we were talking about it and we were saying we will never see this repeated again. And we're seeing it repeated the next year. And it's us. And that's fantastic. You know, long may this continue. I really love it. Tuan, good to see you, Tuan. She says, bring on everybody. I'm not afraid of any team now. I can't wait for Buba to be effing back. I agree too. You know, we've got good squad depth there that's there now. And it's definitely something to be proud of. Emery Thing Villa says Debo's distribution today was outstanding. I 100% agree. Those little chip passes out to the fullbacks were chef's kiss today. They were brilliant. Every single one of them was on point. And when Newcastle tried to go with that diagonal ball, more often than not, it went out over their players' head and into the front row of the stand. And that was because of the pressure we were putting on them. It was relentless today. It's fantastic.
I think we have a Geordie in there. Well done, Villa. You played off the park. Good luck in getting to fifth.
Getting to fifth. Yeah.
Fair play, Colton.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for popping in. I'm having a bit of a come down here live on the podcast now at the moment. I'm actually feeling I've just suddenly got a blast of tiredness. Cormac O'Grady says, it could have been 6-0 to be honest. I think the scoreline could have been more. It genuinely could have. We missed some better chances than we scored. Notably, I think there was one chance for Ali Watkins
after 28 seconds. You know?
Yeah.
Watkins went for goal at one stage when he could have rolled it to Dendonker, I think it was standing about 10 yards out. So, but look, we're picking at straws here,
I know. And the goal he scored that was chalked off for offside, incredibly tight call. He was offside, but it was incredibly tight call. There's no way he can see that he's offside in the moment there. But and Nick Pope couldn't get down to the shot as well. I think it was because Ollie probably took it very, very quick. He took it, uncharacteristically further out. Usually he takes that a bit wider as a characteristic of him. He does usually take one-on-ones wide, and he takes it. Nick Pope gets a hand to it, it goes under him into the back of the net. But as we say, it was chalked off because he was offside, and he was offside as well. But he's running today. He was outstanding today.
I'm absolutely fine with that pubic hair offside. That's what, like, if VAR is going to do that, do it for everybody.
Do it for everyone.
Absolutely fine.
Absolutely, I agree. Stato, brilliant to see a statistic like this. No team in Europe's top 5 leagues have picked up more points from their last 8 matches than Super Aston Villa, 22 points out of 24. Phenomenal stuff. Absolutely brilliant stuff. I'm trying to think, who did we draw against?
We drew against West Ham.
Western Ham, exactly. We drew against Western Ham. You're dead right. Yeah, I'm buzzing. I don't know how much more I can talk about it before I actually I just shut down on the podcast here. But this has been fantastic. As I say, we will celebrate these. We will over celebrate these wins at times, and there will come a time whereby we will. I have no problem with people clipping this up if Villa go in get steamrolled someday this season, because we should be celebrating things like this because it doesn't happen that often. And as somebody said there, this is as Stato said there, should I say, we are the form team in all of European football at the moment, and we're a sleeping giant, and we even conquered Europe in 1982. But anything else to add, Paddy, before we finish up?
Well, go away, enjoy your weekend in the knowledge that we've got 7 days to relax and look at what everybody else is doing and drink it in, have a few drinks, chill out, spend time with the family, and up the Villa. Exactly. Yeah. Go in, enjoy your weekend. This is fantastic. We will be back during the week with more podcasts. The positivity is going to flow. And obviously we've got Brentford next weekend, and then hot on the heels of that, we've got Fulham. 2 more must-win games if we are to start stamping our passport. And who the hell would have thought that? And we're going to be here for every single second of it. And we hope that you guys will join us. If you're not a fan, if you're not a fan of the podcast, what are you doing watching the podcast? If you are a fan of the podcast, come and give us some love. Give us a thumbs up. And if you aren't subscribed, I meant to say, give us a subscription. Pop on the subscription button there. Costs you nothing to do it, and it really helps out the podcast as well, because, as I say, we're on a train, and this train ain't stopping for anybody. Lastly, before we leave again, and I forgot to say this at the start, once again, as I say, if anybody is now after the game today, if anybody is thinking of making that trip to the United States, Sports Travel Tours, the link will be in the notes after the podcast as well. Give it a click there. If you're even interested in just finding out what the price is, pop in your information and you'll get an email with the price packages. As I said, there's a package for single games, there's a package for the full 9 days, or if you just want to do Philly and Orlando, either side of the DC game, or if you want to do Philly and Orlando, together, should I say, there's a package for that as well. So run by an Aston Villa fan based out of Dallas, Texas, and the West Midlands. So give them a shout, as I say, because a lot of people have reached out to us going, how will we go about booking tickets for the US tour? So, as I say, if you're interested, give them a shout and look at them. So with that in mind, everybody, as Paddy said, go in, enjoy your weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay shouting about Aston Villa, stay supporting, stay positive. What is it? Be positive and be nice to who? Everybody. That's the message for the rest of the season, and I'm certainly going to do that now for the rest of my weekend. So thanks very much, everybody, for watching, and thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and all that's left to say is up the Villa. Up the Villa.